All right, so sun is shining, birds are chirping, evaluation and plans for today. We've got a little session. It's a lovely Thursday morning. It's probably the most scenic location I've ever done for one of these videos. I'm at Ewan's right now and he's out. We've had a conversation and talked about what we want to do. We're working on track 2, Humanity. Ideas have been booming. Like it's going well. I know what themes I want, how to tell the story, capturing things like that. And we've had a little talk. We sat down and we talked about themes, what we want it to sound like, what story we want to tell. And we did a storyboard. Here it is. This is very first draft. We've not gone into much detail yet, but let me explain. So Ewan came up with this great idea that I think will really help tell the story, bring the story along, and that's footsteps. So let me show you the storyboard here. Childhood theme, young first step, footsteps. This can also go into the percussion that I want to build up here for the first theme, which is going to be this nostalgic, those open piano chords over the very percussive like drums and drum machine and things like that. Starting off the first track with these young growing up first steps that's going to take our character onto the rest of his life. When we finish this theme, we're going to go into more efficient walking, more of a pace, and that will take us perfectly into the bebop theme. I think that's bebop, the beat. This will be very upbeat jazz kind of thing. And then we're going to drop right down into these feet dragging in this slow kind of feel, slow swung, and this depressive kind of blues thing that we're going to be working on. That's going to build right up to our love theme. This is when our second character gets introduced, and this I want to have like 2 people footsteps, 2 almost like dancing kind of thing. I think that adds a lot to story and the introducing of another character. I think that would be really cool into the love theme. That will then drop into the ragtime radio theme. This is where the kind of anxiety of war and the flashback kind of thing. So cool. Then he gets drafted to war, and then the footsteps come back with like war chants and feet stamping and things like that. Then it's war. That's a whole genre in itself. Then he dies, and then that will go into interlude 2. So we've got this bare bones kind of thing. We're going to expand onto this a lot more. So yeah. So booklet ideas, like this is really important that I keep working on the booklet, because I got on the draft that I showed you, and he seems to really like it. But we went out, we took some pictures, and I want to start collaging together. Like I love the whole collage thing. So I think the most productive thing I can do now is start working on structure and things like that. Then we can record any sounds we want and start just jump into it. And then I also really want to get some good pictures and start collaging and things. I might have to do that in college, but if we can at least get pictures and kind of, I've got one mock-up already of how I want it to look. I'm probably going to add on to that a lot more. We're taking inspiration just from old collage artists, especially the Steely Dan album cover. We both love Steely Dan. I think that looks really cool. In my presentation, I mentioned Kendrick Lamar and Kanye West for storytelling and music in albums. And I've been listening to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And in a lot of those tracks, there's these tap dancing themes and these steps and the big steppers. And I really like how it sounds. The percussive feel, like these like reverbed, big, echoey footsteps are so cool. And it's odd that Ewan mentioned that as well, because I've been thinking about it. And that's where the inspiration has come from there. But I think because Sublime is more of a soundscape, whereas this is a storytelling. So good capture in there. But yeah. All right, I think the best use of my time right now is to write a little to-do list before Ewan gets back, because when he gets back, then we can just start working. We know what we want to do, and this is quite a task. Just looking at all of this in one day, it's like, oh God. If we can find stuff that we want to do and just start grinding it out, like recording footstep ideas, theme 1. Also, Ewan's going to be out later in the day, so I want him to leave me with interlude, and I want to record the piano. Then that gives me ages to just sit in the studio recording some piano. So let's write these down. Alright, so when he gets back, I think it'd be inspiring to record some footsteps and make a start on the childhood theme. So I'm gonna do that. Alright, start childhood theme. So that's recording footsteps. We want to get some percussion done. We might record some sounds. Ooh, that's nice. Like, you can hear these kind of struggling footsteps, and then they start working. And you know, when the kid takes the first step, you're like clapping. You're like, yeah, that'd be fun, because then that could go into. I want to have the contrast of like kind of fast-ish percussion, using lots of sound effects and things, as well as these just big open chords. I think that's really cool. Footsteps, clapping. It's this kind of nostalgic but discovering emotion I want to convey. It's going to be hard, but I think it can work. I also want to record the piano in Interlude 1 because it sounded pretty empty without it. I had such a good thing going on, I deleted it for some reason. I think I've got better ideas, so I'll get on that. Piano for Interlude 1. I think in the evening when we stop recording, because I'll stay pretty late, I want to crack down on the booklet. So that's just making pages, booklet work. I also want to think realistically about this. I could definitely do the piano for Interlude, because he'll be gone for an hour or so, and I can just crack down, just record. Like that's simple stuff. Just press record, play the piano, easy. All right, cool. To-do list, productive.